Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, March 7th, 2024. Today I'm going to recap all the college basketball, NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball spring training games and look ahead to today's games in each sport. We have soccer, golf, Masked Singer, Survivor, news and notes, and best bet. All right, college basketball's first. We will go over results from yesterday, and today's a very big window, so bear with me. Seton Hall over Villanova, 66-56. Number 1 Houston over UCF, 67-59. Number 4 Tennessee over number 17 South Carolina, 66-59. NEC quarterfinal, Central Con over St. Fran, PA, 71-62. Northeast Conference quarterfinal, Merrimack over LIU, 72-66. Northeast Conference quarterfinal, Wagner over Sacred Heart, 60-57. Northeast Conference quarterfinal, Lemoyne over Fairleigh Dickinson, 82-61. BC over Miami, 67-57. TCU over West Virginia, 93-81. Charlotte over Rice, 69-64. Michigan State over Northwestern, 53-49, so best bet was a winner. Arkansas over LSU, 94-83. Loyola Chicago over Davidson, 69-59. George Mason over Rhode Island, 69-51. George Washington over St. Bonaventure, 86-75. Richmond over St. Joe's, 73-66. OVC first round, Tennessee State over Southern Indiana, 78-64. Butler over Xavier, 72-66. UMass over Fordham, 66-64. SMU over East Carolina, 80-77 in OT. FE over North Texas, 80-76. Lamar over Houston Christian, 78-68. McNeese over New Orleans, 81-57. Number 2 UConn over number 8 Marquette, 74-67. Big South first round, Radford over SC Upstate, 67-60. A&M Commerce over Northwestern State, 83-80 in triple overtime. A&M Corpus Christi over Incarnate Word, 71-52. Number 6 Iowa State over number 20 BYU, 68-63. Number 15 Kentucky over Vandy, 93-77. Indiana over Minnesota, 70-58. A&M over Mississippi State, 75-69. Number 22 Utah State over San Jose State, 90-70. OVC first round, SAU Edwardsville over Eastern Illinois, 68-57. New Mexico over Fresno State, 79-58. And Hawaii over Cal State Northridge, 72-70. Like I said, big slate today. The only games I did totals for were the conference tournament games. So first up, 12:30, Sun Belt second round. Georgia, Southern, South Alabama. Minus South Alabama by 6 total of 150 and 17/20. And we have 3.5 and 151.5. I'm going to lay the points of South Alabama. 1 o'clock, MVC first round. Missouri State, Murray State. Mine's Missouri State, 2.5 total 142 and 11/20. And it's Murray State by 1.5 total 139.5. Okay, this is a hard one. So I'm going to take Missouri State plus the points and plus 104. 3 o'clock, Coastal Carolina, Louisiana. Sunbelt second round. My line is Louisiana 10.25, so 149 and 9/20. And it is 11.5 and 149.5. Very close, slightly in Coastal. 3:30, MVC first round, Valpo, Belmont. Mine's Belmont 15.5 to 148 and 2 fits. And it's 13.5 and 153.5 under. Pacific Pepperdine, WCC first round, 5:30. My line is Pepperdine 7.8 to 147 and 3/10. And it's 9.5 and 150.5 under. Texas State, Southern Miss, 6 o'clock, Sunbelt second round. My line is Southern Miss 4.25 to 140 and 9/20. And it's 1.5 and 134.5 over. Patriot League quarterfinal, 7 o'clock, Holy Cross, Colgate. My line is Colgate 17.9 to 137 and 9/20. And it's 17.5 and 142.5 under. Patriot League quarterfinal, Lehigh, Lafayette. My line is Lafayette by a fifth, total 137 and a fifth, and it is. Why is Lehigh favorite right 3.5, total 135? And if I don't get the obsession with Lehigh, give me Lafayette plus the points and plus 134 outright. Another quarterfinal in the Patriot League, Navy, BU. My line is BU 7.1, total 132 and 7/10, and it is 3.5 and 132.5. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with BU. And then another Patriot League quarterfinal, Bucknell American. My line's American 7.5, total 133 and 17/20ths. And it's 4.5 and 128.5. Over. Horizon League quarterfinal, Purdue, Fort Wayne, Oakland. My line is Oakland 7.4, total 150 and 7/10. And it's 3.5 and 148.5. I'm going to lay the points with Oakland. And then Cleveland State, Youngstown State. My line is Youngstown 5 3/4, so 158 and 7/10. And it's 9.5 and 151.5. Ooh, I actually could bet the over. MVC first round, Evansville, Illinois State. My line's Illinois State 1.4, total 140 and 9/20. And it is 3.5 and 135.5. Over. Jacksonville, Stetson, ASUN semifinal. My line is Stetson 11.5, total 145 and 3/10, and it's 5.5 and 138.5. That's a hard one, but I'm gonna go with the over. So next up is UAB Temple, ESPN 2. Mine's UAB 7.2. And it's 2.5 and 145.5. I'll lay the points of UAB. Fox Sports 1, Rutgers, Wisconsin. Mine's Wisconsin 7.5, and it is 9.5, 132.5. I'll take Rutgers in the points. Niagara, Siena. Mine's Niagara 5.9. And 7.5, 136.5. I'm going to take the over. Marist, Quinnipiac. My line is Quinnipiac by 8. And we have 4.5, 137.5. We'll lay the points. Iona, Manhattan. My line is Iona 7.5 and 7.5, 144.5. We'll take the, actually, kind of like, all right, we'll go with the over. I wanted to take the under, but felt fishy. Canisius, Fairfield. Mine's Fairfield 8 3/4. It's 8.5, 145.5. We'll do the over there as well. OVC quarterfinal 7:30. Tennessee State and Western Illinois. My line is Western by 1/4, so 138 2/5. And it's 2.5 and 134.5. I like the over. SC State, NC Central. My line's Central 4.3 to 7.5, 143.5. I'll take NC State. Coppin State, Morgan State. Mine's Morgan State 11.8, and it's 7.5, 140.5. I'll lay with Morgan State. Utah Tech and Texas Rio Grande. My line's Texas Rio Grande 6.8. Is Utah Tech 4.5, total 151.5. I don't think the right team is favored here. Give me Texas Rio Grande plus the 4.5 and plus 152 outright. Same conference, Southern Utah, Stephen F. Austin. My line is Stephen F. Austin by 12. And it's 6.5, 148.5. LA with Stephen F. Austin. 8 o'clock, Horizon League quarterfinal. Northern Kentucky, Wright State. Mine's Wright State 7.5, total 116.5. I'm sorry, that's what it is on FanDuel, but mine's 4.5 and 156 and 9/10. I read that completely off. Under. ASUN semifinal. North Alabama, Austin P. My line's Austin P 5.2, total 149 and 9/20. And it's 3.5 and 148.5, so it's very close. We're going to do slight lean to Austin P. Delaware State, Maryland Eastern Shore. My line's Delaware State 3.5. And that's what it is in 133.5. So total, I like the over. St. Peter's Rider. Men's Rider 2.9. And it is Rider 1.5, total 134.5. We'll go with the over. Utah Valley, Tarleton State. My line is Tarleton 9 3/4 and it's 5.5, 141.5. I'll late the points with Tarleton. Cal Baptist, Texas Arlington. My line is Texas Arlington 5 1/4 and it's 6.5 and 142.5. I will take the over. Seattle Abilene Christian. My line is Seattle 1.2 and it's 1.5, 141.5. I'll take the over. 8:30 Sunbelt second round. Marshall Georgia State. Mine's Georgia State 1 1/4 total 150 and 1/10. It's 1.5 and 150.5. That is so close. Slight lean under. Miss Valley State Alcorn State. My line's Alcorn 19.7. It's 18.5, 132.5. I'll take the over. Grambling. Did we skip Grambling, Bama? Oh, they just put it in. That's. This is the order of the games. Or did I skip one? Did I skip it? Oh boy. Let's see if I skipped a game. Yeah, it looks like I skipped a game. Not ideal. Hang on, guys. Yeah, so Southern Alabama State. Southern 3.2 turned out to be my projection. And it's Alabama State 1.5, total 131.5. I'll take Southern plus the points and minus 108 to win. Now Grambling and Bama A&M. My line is Grambling 6.8. And it's 2.5, 134.5. I'll take Grambling minus the points. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Jackson State. My line's Jackson State 6.2, and it's 8.5 and 153.5. I'll take Arkansas, Pine Bluff in the points. Nichols, Southeast Louisiana. My line is South Louisiana 1.5, and it's 3.5 and 139.5. I'll take Nichols in the points. 9 o'clock, Fox Sports 1. Washington, number 18, Washington State. Mine's Washington State 9.2. And it's 6.5 and 149.5. We'll lay with Wazoo. All right, Horizon League quarterfinal. Milwaukee, Green Bay. Mine is Milwaukee by a 10, total 147 and 3/5. And it's Green Bay 1.5, total 145.5. So we're gonna go with the over. Colorado, Oregon, ESPN 2. My line's Oregon 2 3/4, and it's 2.5 and 150.5. We'll take the under. Howard, Norfolk State, ESPNU. My line is Norfolk 5.2, and it's 4.5 and 146.5. We'll take the under. FIU, UTEP. My line is UTEP by 6, and it's 8.5, 142.5. I'll take FIU in the points. CBS Sports Network, Sam Houston and Louisiana Tech. Mine's Tech 5 3/4, and it's 7.5 and 136.5. I'm gonna take the over. 9:30 ESPN, number 5 Arizona, UCLA. My line is Arizona 5.5, and it's 8.5 and 146.5. We'll take UCLA plus the points at home. MVC first round, UIC Southern Illinois. My line is Southern Illinois 9 1/4, total on 40 7/10. And it's 5.5 and 137.5. I'm going to lay the points with Southern Illinois. OVC quarterfinal, 10 o'clock, SIU Edwardsville, Moorhead State. Mine's Moorhead 9.1, total 139. And it's 7.5 and 137.5. All right, slight lean Morid. Santa Barbara, Long Beach State. My line is Long Beach State 5.7. And it's 4.5 and 154.5. We'll take the over. UC Davis, UC San Diego. My line is UC San Diego 4.6, and it is 7.5 and 140.5. We'll take UC Davis in the points. Florida and Riverside. Riverside 2.5. It's 2.5, 136.5. We'll take the over. Cal Poly, UC Irvine. My line's UC Irvine 24, and it's 22.5 and 137.5. We'll take the over. 11 o'clock, ESPN2, Cal Stanford. My line is Stanford 2 3/4, and it's 3.5, 155.5. We'll take the over. Arizona State, USC on Fox Sports 1 wins USC by 3. It's 8.5 and 143.5. Geez, Bronny James isn't like some superpower like his father. Like, why is USC giving all these points? Bobby frickin' Hurley, baby, giving Arizona State in the points. And then ESPN, Utah, Oregon State. My line's Utah by 5. And it's 7.5 and 142.5. We'll take the Beavers to cover 7.5. Now move on to the NBA. We will go over the results from yesterday, and tonight's slate is only 7 deep compared to yesterday. That had, I believe, 9 was the number from yesterday. No, it was 8. Magic over to Wiz 119-109. Hawks over to Cavs 112-101. Grizzlies over to Sixers 115-109. Clippers over to Rockets 122-116. Bulls over to Jazz 119-117. Warriors over to Bucks 125-90. Blazers lose at home to the Thunder 128-120. And the Kings over to Lakers 130-120. All right, 7 games. 7 o'clock, Nets Pistons. My line is the Nets by a half, total 229 and 3/5. And it's 2 and 216 over. Timberwolves Pacers minus the Pacers 1 3/4, total 232 and 11/20, and it's 1.5 with 227.5. This will be another over pick. On TNT 7:30 Heat Mavs. My line's the Mavs 5 1/4, total 228 and 17/20, and it's 5 and 230. Slight under. 9 o'clock, Raptors, Suns. My line's the Suns 4.5, total 231 and 3/4. And it's 10.5 and 231. Oh, I'm taking the Raptors getting the points. No Devin Booker. 10 o'clock on TNT, Celtics, Nuggets. Mine's the Celtics by a quarter, so it's 27 and 4/5. And it's Nuggets by 1, total 221. I like the over. Bulls, Warriors. My line is the Warriors 4 3/4, total 230 and 1/5. And it is 7.5 and 225 over. And last but not least, Spurs, Kings. No Wemby. My line's the Kings 20 3/4, total 234 and 1/5. And it's 11 and 237. I'm going to lay the 11 with the Kings. All right, the NHL. We will recap the games from yesterday, and then tonight is a much larger window. Leafs over the Sabres 2-1 in OT. Avs over the Red Wings 7-2. Ducks over the Sens 2-1. And then tonight, 7 o'clock, you have the Leafs at the Bruins. That's a good one. Bruins minus 137, Leafs plus 114, over under 6.5, overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Leafs plus 1.5 is minus 220, Bruins minus 1.5 is plus 180. I'm taking the Leafs outright plus 114. Flames, Lightning. Lightning minus 162, Flames plus 134, over under 6.5. Overs even money, unders minus 122. Flames plus 1.5 is minus 172, Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 142. I'm going to take the Lightning in regulation, minus 105. Flyers, Panthers. Panthers minus 230, Flyers plus 188, over under 5.5, overs minus 140, unders plus 114. Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 134, Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 112. Panthers puck line, they're dominant lately. ESPN, Blues, Devils. Devils minus 188, Blues plus 155, over under 6.5, overs minus 112, unders minus 110. Blues plus 1.5 is minus 154, Devils minus 1.5 is plus 128. The Blues have been on national TV a lot recently, and their season's kind of fallen apart. But the Devils' season's also fallen apart. I'm tempted to pick the Blues outright, plus 155, but I'm going to go with the over instead. Caps Pens. Maybe Jake Gensel's last game as a Pen. The Pens are favored, minus 172. The Caps are plus 142, over under 6.5. Overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Caps plus 1.5 is minus 166. Pens minus 1.5 is plus 138. I like the Capitals outright, plus 142. Who knows if Jake Gensel's even going to play in this game. Habs Canes. Canes minus 310. Habs plus 245, over under 6.5. Overs even money, unders minus 122. Habs plus 1.5 is plus 104. Canes minus 1.5 is minus 125. I don't feel good about the pick, but I'm going to go with the over at even money. Oilers Blue Jackets. Oilers minus 275. Jackets plus 220, over under 6.5. Overs minus 134. Unders plus 110. Oilers minus 1.5 is minus 114. Jackets plus 1.5 is plus 105. I'm going to light the puck and a half with the Oilers. And that will not be best bet because I went against Columbus on the puck line for best bet last week and how'd that work out? Poorly. 8 o'clock, Sabres Preds. Preds minus 162, Sabres plus 134, over under 6.5, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Sabres plus 1.5 is minus 178, Preds minus 1.5 is plus 146. I like the under. Wild Coyotes at 9. Wild minus 142, Coyotes plus 118, over under 6.5. Overs plus 104, unders minus 118. Wild minus 1.5 is plus 172, Coyotes plus 1.5 is minus 210. This is based on the fact that that number is telling you something, and this is a team I don't think I've picked outright all year as a dog. I'm taking the Coyotes plus 118. 10 o'clock, Canucks Golden Knights. Golden Knights minus 113, Canucks minus 106, over under 6.5, overs plus 114, unders minus 140. Canucks plus 1.5 is minus 265, Golden Knights minus 1.5 is plus 215. The rich get richer. We'll talk about them in a second with the Golden Knights, but I'm taking Vancouver minus 106. The disrespect for this team's insane. 10:30, Senators Kings. Kings minus 188, Sens plus 155, over under 6.5, minus 110 each way. Sens plus 1.5 is minus 152, Kings minus 1.5 is plus 126, I like the over. And Islanders Sharks. Isles minus 260, Sharks plus 210, over under 6.5. Overs plus 114, unders minus 140. Isles minus 1.5 is minus 102, Sharks plus 1.5 is minus 118. I'm not saying the Sharks went outright, but I think that they'll stay within a goal. So I'll take the Sharks on the puck line, plus 1.5 at minus 118. All right, spring training. We'll go over results from yesterday and look ahead to today's window. Twins over the Red Sox 7-1, Rays over the Yanks 4-3, Nats over the Marlins 9-3, Cubs over the Angels 6-5. Dodgers over the White Sox 12-9, Brewers over the Reds 2-0, Mariners over the Royals 8-7, Reds over the Padres 6-2, Guardians Brewers 3-3 tie, Angels over the A's 12-5, Rangers Rockies 6-6 tie, O's over the Pirates 6-4, and the Mets and Astros got postponed. All right, today 1 o'clock on ESPN, Braves Red Sox. Astros Cardinals, Phillies Rays 3 o'clock, D-backs Rangers, Guardians A's, Brewers White Sox, Angels Mariners, Royals Rockies 6 o'clock, Blue Jays Tigers, Nats Mets 6:30, Tigers Yankees 8 o'clock, Cubs Reds, and 9 o'clock, Dodgers Giants. All right, now move on to soccer. We will go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to any notable soccer today. All right, CONCACAF Champions Cup. New England over Alajuelense 4-0. Columbus over Houston 1-0. And America over Guadalajara 3-0. 2 today, 7 o'clock, Cincinnati and Monterrey. That's a good one. So Cincinnati's plus 145. Monterrey's plus 160. Draw plus 230. I'm going with Cincinnati at home plus 145. And then Nashville, Miami. So Nessie. So Miami's plus 105. Nashville's 2-1. The draw's plus 260. I'm going with Messi and the road plus 105. Champions League results. Man City over Copenhagen 3-1. Man City advances 6-2 on aggregate. Real Madrid, RP Leipzig 1-1 draw, but Real Madrid advances 2-1 on aggregate. All right, the semifinals for the Gold Cup. Brazil over Mexico 3-0. And Canada-US was 2-2 draw, but US advances 3-1 on penalties. The Saudi Pro League today, 9 a.m. Al Shabab and Al Faya. I think that's going to be a draw. Tamaka and Al Wada. I think that's another draw. And at noon, Al Nasser and Al Raid. Al Nasser to win. All right, we have a lot of Europa League today. 12:45, Sparta, Liverpool. Sparta plus 310, Liverpool minus 130, draw plus 290. We know Liverpool's better. We're going to take under 2.5 goals plus 136. And this is the first leg of the round of 16. AS Roma and Brighton first leg. Roma plus 115, Brighton plus 230, draw plus 230. We're going with Roma plus 115. FK Karabag and Leverkusen. Leverkusen minus 310, Karabag plus 750. The draw's 4-1. Under 2.5 goals plus 118. 3 o'clock, Freiburg, West Ham. Each team's plus 165. The draw's plus 210. We're going to go with the draw. Milan, Slavia, Prague. Milan's minus 250. Slavia plus 650. Draw plus 330. Over 2.5 goals, minus 108. Marseille, Villarreal. Marseille minus 130. Villarreal plus 320. The draw plus 270. Under 2.5 goals, plus 124. And then Benfica, Rangers. Benfica minus 185. Rangers plus 470. Draw plus 310. We're going to go under 2.5 goals again and plus 112. All right, Conference League. First round. So 12:45. Molde Club Brugge. Club Brugge plus 135. Molde plus 210. Draw plus 220. We go with Brugge plus 135. Olympiacos Maccabi Tel Aviv. Olympiacos minus 160. Maccabi plus 460. Draw plus 270. We're going to go over 2.5 goals, minus 107. Sturm Graz Lille. Lille plus 110. Sturm Graz plus 280. Draw plus 220. We'll go Lille plus 110. Ajax and Aston Villa. That's a good one. Aston Villa minus 145. Ajax plus 380. Draw plus 290. We're going to go over 3.5 goals plus 138. 3 o'clock, Maccabi Haifa and Fiorentina. Fiorentina minus 160. Hafia plus 460. Draw plus 270. Over 2.5 goals minus 103. Servette and Victoria Plzen. Servette plus 120. Plzen plus 240. Draw plus 220. Goes Servette plus 120. Union SG and Fenerbahce. Union SG plus 120. Fenerbahce plus 220. Draw plus 230. Going Union SG plus 120. 3 o'clock, Dynamo, Zagreb, and Payok. Dynamo plus 145, Payok plus 210, drop 2-1. We're going to go Dynamo at plus 145. I do not think we have any other leagues to really talk about. We don't have League MX till Friday. Pretty much everybody resumes either Friday or Saturday. Oh, ELC, we have results from yesterday. Cardiff over Huddersfield 1-0. Borough over Norwich City 3-1. Southampton Preston postponed. Watford Swansea 1-1 draw. QPR West Brom 2-2 draw. And then we had Premiership yesterday. Or no, we didn't. That's a lie. I thought we did. All right, so there you have it for the soccer. Now we'll do some golf. The next tournament is underway. We're going to provide a late pick for it. The Puerto Rico Open. So your early leaderboard, tied for first with 5 under. Satoshi Kodiara and Troy Merritt tied for third with 4 under. Gary Kigo, Nico Echevarria, Scott Piercy, Tommy Gainey tied for 7th with 3 under. Bryce Garnett, Sangbone Bay, Rasmus Hojar, Kelly Kraft, Richie Wrensky, Eric Barnes, Joe Highsmith, Hayden Springer tied for 15th with 2 under. Sangil No, William McGirt, Chris Strout, Ted Potter Jr., Harrison Endicott, Trace Crow, Parker Cootie, Angel Iora, tied for 23rd with 1 under. Henrik Norlander, Scott Brown, Pat Gazier, Daniel Berger, Jim Herman, Ben Griffin, S.H. Kim, Robert Strev, Kevin Tway, Alejandro Tassi, Ben Silverman, Michael Glidgick, Jackson Fan Paris, tied for 36th at even. Bill Haas, Harry Higgs, Kyle Stanley, Ben Martin, Jonathan Bird, Martine Trainer, Andrew Landry, Nate Lashley, Aaron Baddeley, Justin Hassing, Kevin Doherty, Evan Hammerling, Paul Bargen, Wilson Furr, Julian Perico. Tied for 51st at 1 over. Nicholas Lindheim, David Skins, Mac Meisner, Chandler Phillips, Aram Yedrelon, Patrick Fishburne, Chad Kim, Paul Haley II, Wesley Bryant is tied for 59th at 2 over with Josh Teeter, Blaine Hill, Yuxin Lin. Tied for 63rd with 3 over. Scott Kaczynski and Ricky Barnes 65th with 4 over. D.A. Points 66 with 5 over Aaron Weiss. Still yet to tee off. Martin Laird, Ben Crane, with Ian Schmid, Kevin Chappell, Russell Knox, Nate Watney, 10:35. 10:46. Cody Gribble, James Hahn, Harry Hall, Austin Cook, Derek Ernst, Roger Sloan, 10:57. Sun Kong, Adam Long, Vincent Whaley, Michael Kim, Justin Sue, Robert McIntyre, 11:08. Ryan Brem, Kevin Kisner, Brett Snecker, Camilo Vegas, Cam Champ, Joel Dahman, 11:19. Jeff Ogilvy, George McNeil, Derek Lamley, Brandon Wu, Aaron Ray, Sam Stevens. 11:30, Jason Duffner, Kevin Strowman, Sean O'Hare, Tyler Duncan, Ryan Moore, DJ Tran. 11:41, Brian Storr, Jeff Overton, Ben Coles, Rafael Campos, Tom Whitney, Chris Nito. 11:52, Jacob Bridgman, Adrian Dumont de Chasse, Tiago Simakawa, Rico Hoey, Raul Pareda, Ryan Cole. 12:03, Victor Perez, Norman Zong, Tyler Collett, Pearson Cootie, George Campillo, Domenico Giminani. 12:14, Jimmy Stranger, Max Gracerman, Garrett Stein, MJ Doffe, Rio Hasatune, Kelvin Hernandez. 12:25, Zichengdu, Ryan McCormick, Evan Pena, Austin Smothering, Chris Goddard, and Fred Biondi. Alright, so I'm gonna make a live bet on somebody that hasn't teed off yet, which I think is smart, because technically I'm not cheating. I'm going to lay 1/5 of a unit on the Puerto Rico Open. I'm going to do it on Kevin Kisner. He's 270 to 1. We're going to just do a long shot bet here. Why not? 270 to 1. Why not? And then the Arnold Palmer Invitational is also going on. We'll do that leaderboard right now. That's just getting underway. Tied for first with 1, there's Luke List and Keegan Bradley. Tied for third at even, Minwoo Lee, Mackenzie Hughes, Adam Schenk, Nick Taylor, Sepp Straka, Tom Hogue. Tied for 10th with 1 over CT Pond, Justin Lauer, Will Zalatoris, Justin Rose. Tied for 14th, 2 over Nick Dunlap and Stefan Yeager. All right, just teeing off now, Taylor Ward, Patrick Rogers, 9:20. Hideki Matsuyama, Russell Henley, Brendan Todd, 9:30. Is actually Brendan Todd and Andrew Putnam, 9:40. Chris Kirkley, Hodges, 9:50. JT Potts and Brian Harmon, 10 o'clock. Wendell Clark and Tom Kim, 10:10. Sam Bird, Scotty Scheffler, 10:20. Victor Hovland, Ricky Fowler, 10:30. Austin Eckler, Matthew Pavon, 10:40. Christian Ziedenhout, Nicholas Hojar, 10:55. David Ford and Webb Simpson, 11:05. Grayson Murray and Eric Van Rooyen, 11:15. Jake Knapp, Justin Thomas, 11:25. Corey Connors and Eric Cole, 11:35. Cam Davis, Danny McCarthy, 11:45. Patrick Cantlay, Matt Fitzpatrick, 11:55. Emiliano Grillo, Banganon, 12:05. C. Thiglia, Sanjay M, 12:15. Saiwoo Kim, Adam Howdwin, 12:13. Adam Svensson and Harry English, 12:40. Seamus Power, Tommy Fleetwood, 12:50. Cam Young and Lucas Glover, 1 o'clock. Kurt Katayama and Max Homa, 1:10. Jordan Spieth and Xander Schauffele, 1:20. Rory McIlroy and Colin Morikawa, 1:30. Ludwig Gayberg and Shane Lowry, 1:40. Sammy Valimaki and Adam Scott. So this is like the All-Stars. So for Arnold Palmer, I'm going to go with the guy I like to bet on a lot. He's 28 to 1. I'm going to lay a fifth of a unit. That's Justin Thomas. The 20th of a unit. All right. Now we'll move on to reality TV. We'll start with The Masked Singer. Season 11 premiered, and the big story, as we talked about, Rita Ora in Nicole Scherzinger out, as Nicole's going to be doing a movie. It was an interesting season premiere, that's for sure. Group A, Goldfish. She talks about making a splash overnight. There's a Jar of Hearts. Maybe there's a Christina Perry tie. There's a Sterling Willow, tulips, a glass slipper. And then she talks about going for the gold. And she performed Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo. I thought she was outstanding. And there was a special clue of a gold record, and gold is her lucky color. My first thought, based on the voice and because of certain clues, like the glass slipper, that made me think of like the connection to Wicked and Wizard of Oz. And then making a splash overnight. Like she's big in Wicked, and then Frozen, I went with Idina Menzel. Rita said Hilary Duff, Lucy Hale, and Leah Michelle. Jenny said Selena Gomez, and Ken said Carly Rae Jepsen. I gotta be honest, all those guesses are not bad. I like the Selena Gomez one a lot, and I like the Carly Rae Jepsen guess a lot too. Starfish, there was a bar, there was goggles. Steve Martin, Whitney Houston. There was a 4-leaf clover. PA sunscreen, so maybe this person's from Pennsylvania. There's a doll. There's a radio and a towel. And she performed Material Girl by Madonna. And the special was a clock that said 9 o'clock and streamed over 50 billion in a year. My first thought, because of a connection with Steve Martin, and this person probably connected with Whitney Houston a long time ago. Like the beach themed. This person loves the beach, and She was in Mamma Mia, and she was in It's Complicated with Steve Martin. I thought about Meryl Streep. Rita said Kathleen O'Hara. Robin said Sherry O'Terry. Jenny said Molly Shannon. The Ugly Sweater. There was a microphone in the beginning. There was talks about losing focus. There was a rabbit in the hat. He hit rock bottom. There was the alarm clock. And then a blue record. He performed The Best by Tina Turner. The special clue was featuring with eyeballs. My first thought was B.O.B. Obviously, he's a rapper that sings the song, You Got the Magic in Me. And Robin guessed Aaron Neville, Charlie Wilson. Ken said Nile Rodgers, and Rita said Dean White. And then came Lovebird. There was a pool. He talks about being a hopeless romantic. He talks about being left at the altar, maybe in a movie. There was a cake. And there was a number 1, most lovable trophy. There was a die roll of a 3 and a 2. And Lovebird performed Home by Philip Phillips. And the clue was the TV that said leading man. My guess for this, because of some football stuff, it made me think of The Bachelor. I went with Emmanuel Akko, who has become a part of The Bachelor, and he covers college football. Jenny said Nick Viall of The Bachelor. Rita said Odell Beckham Jr., and Ken said Travis Kelce. And that was probably the dumbest guess that Ken had. And that wasn't an awful guess. Then, last but not least, was book. There's a crime sign. Talks about his brother being in trouble. A detective. Animals 101 book. Open mic night. A ghost. $4 billion in the box office. And it talks about Friends. And it talks about having connection with last season's champ, which was Neo. And they performed Neo's song So Sick. My first impression guess. But there was no bonus clue. But we'll get into that in a second. My first impression guess was Jamie Foxx. But then because of how his behavior was, I couldn't help it but think about Kevin Hart. Robin also said Kevin Hart. And the reason why they didn't give out a bonus clue was because Book wanted to unmask himself. And he did it in Kevin Hart fashion. And that's who indeed it was. And then him and Nick were bickering after he unmasked himself. And then this was obviously scripted. It just screams something that Kevin Hart would do. It's a big name. They get excited to start the season. He probably would have been voted out anyway. He wasn't really singing all that well. But at first I thought maybe it was Jamie to throw the voice off, but no. But yeah, Starfish probably was the front runner to go home until Book performed. But yeah, so Group B's next week, a whole bunch of new characters, and another week of Rita Ora with the panel. Alright, Survivor. Good show last night. So, in the beginning, Banu and Kenzie were talking. And Banu of the Yanu tribe did not feel secure in the game. Meanwhile, Q and Tiffany were concerned about Kenzie's threat level because she's easily made connections with people. And at Nami, tribe mates felt they couldn't connect with Venus. And at Sega, Ben successfully made fire. Tim was concerned that the guys were outnumbered by the women, but Charlie already made an alignment with them. And then Charlie decided that he and Maria should make a stronger pair together, effectively putting the two of them in the middle. And then back at Nami, both Venus and Rondon didn't feel safe, so they went on idol searches. Rondon found the Beware advantage. Yanu started to realize that Jess couldn't fit in the tribe as a socially awkward and nice character. But she looked out when Kenzie pulled her and Banu for a chat where she thought to take out Q and Tiffany. And then Jess saw this as an opportunity and trying to blindside Kenzie. And then the immunity challenge, the tribes ran through a short obstacle course to push a cart containing a block puzzle pieces that they'd use to spell the word persistence in a freestanding arch. And the first two tribes to spell the word correctly with no pieces falling won immunity and a fishing gear, which was a large kit for first place and a smaller kit for second. And the losing tribe had to forfeit their flint. Yanu lost again. Nami came in first, but Venus was angry because the wagon was dragged over her toe and she felt that her tribe didn't listen to her. Oh, please. And at Yanu, they were all concerned that Jess would play her shot in the dark, so they made a fake idol. And then Tiffany tried to direct Jess to the location of the fake idol, but she didn't see it. And then Q devised the plan to sneak it to her directly, and it worked. And at Tribal, Banu's paranoia really almost hit him in as he was put to Kenzie and Tiffany, but Jess was sent home after playing the fake idol. So it was a 4-1 Jess vote. Banu is who Jess voted for. So best move of the episode, the fake idol. Only because Jess was so weak. If Jelinski wasn't such a maniac last week, Jess would have been sent home last week. Jess was just unequipped for Survivor. She was just so socially awkward. She just didn't talk. She was so quiet. She had to be going home. So the fake idol was really smart in case she ended up playing her shot in the dark. The worst decision of the episode. I'm going to say that's a tough one. Maybe Venus and Soda kind of getting into it at the Nami tribe. And I really think that Venus might be setting herself up in the future episode to go home. So I'm gonna say that the Venus stuff. Best moment. I really thought the best moment or favorite moment of the episode was probably Maria and Charlie, coming together and being a strong two. They could be this season's version of Dee and Austin. And the worst moment, I did not like seeing that tribe being made fun of the way it was. Soda and other people were openly mocking Yanu. Yanu is the Lulu. Because remember how bad Lulu was? And then there's that other tribe that Jam Jam and Carolyn were on 2 seasons ago. Or that might have been 3 seasons ago. They were also a purple tribe, ironically enough. And then the funny thing is that Jam Jam ended up winning the season. So sometimes being on, the weak tribe does you wonders in the long run. We saw it with Jam Jam a couple seasons ago. So I want to say that was 2 seasons ago, the Jam Jam season. Yeah, because last year was Dee. 2 years ago was Jam Jam. Yeah, Gabler. And then Marianne and Erica, I think, was before Marianne. So, yeah. I did not like seeing the Yanu being made fun of the way it did. All right. I'm sticking with Maria for the winner pick. I think she has all the intangibles. She's smart. She's a big threat. But she's a threat in the way Dee was a threat, where I think she could just dominate the whole way and win a bunch of individual immunities when we get to that stage. And I might pick to go home next week. I can't say Venus because I had her last week. But I'm going to go bold and say that same tribe that Venus is in. But I'm going to say Soda. I think that friendship kind of comes apart a little bit, and maybe Venus gets a couple people to vote for Soda. And plus, somebody in that tribe has an extra vote. Tevin has the extra vote, so maybe they blindside Soda and they send her home. So I'm going to say Soda goes home next week. I'm not a big fan of Soda. Just don't really like her. I think she's a little out there, and she gets knocked out. All right, news and notes. A lot of football and a lot of hockey. We're actually going to start in hockey for news and notes because since, trade deadline's tomorrow. So, Vladimir Tarasenko to the Panthers for 2024 fourth and a 2025 third. Not bad. The rich get richer in Florida. And they're making a strong case to be the team to beat to get back to the Stanley Cup final. Adam Henrique and Sam Carrick from Anaheim to Edmonton. So that's a good trade for the Oilers, getting some depth. The Rangers acquire Alex Wenberg from the Kraken for 2024 second. I believe a 2025 fourth was the other pick. So the Rangers address their need at center with Filipino out. Noah Hannafin to the Golden Knights, so the rich get richer. The Flyers and the Avalanche make a trade. The Flyers send Sean Walker, 2025 fifth, for Ryan Johansson, a 2025 first. So, I don't know if I really like that trade or not for Philly. But they do extend Nick Sealer 4 years, 2.7 average. And then the Capitals extended Rasmus Sundin 5 years, 4.6. I think that is a good extension for Washington. And we'll see about Jake Gensel. I feel like he could be the biggest name traded within the next 24 hours plus. Teams interested. I saw Vegas. I saw Calgary, Florida. The New York Rangers. Ooh. But I don't see them trading him to the Rangers because they're in the same division. I think the Rangers should go for a defenseman. I mean, Noah Hanifin would have been outstanding, but he ended up going to Vegas. So we'll see who they can get. But I think if they get Gensel, that would be putting a lot of pressure on them to go out there and win the cup. There's a lot of football that we have to talk about. So the Buffalo Bills made a bunch of cuts. Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious White, and then they had to rework Von Miller's deal. He agrees to 8.8. That could rise to $20 million. And then the Bills are signing Mitch Trubisky. And of course, the Bill fans are like, cutting all those good players to sign Mitch freaking Trubisky? Ridiculous. The Broncos give Russell Wilson permission to seek with trade partners before free agency. The Broncos are cutting Justin Simmons as they create $14.5 million in cap space by releasing him. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are working on an extension after they got the Mike Evans deal done and they franchise tagged the safety Hamilton. Or I'm sorry, Winfield, Anton Winfield. Teams linked to Saquon Barkley. I mean, the Texans are favored to sign him. But other teams linked are the Raiders and the Eagles. I mean, the Raiders in case they lose Jacobs. So it's going to be all the teams in running back roulette, pretty much. The Commanders to sign Zach Ertz to a 1-year deal, $5 million. Don't hate that signing. Jason Kelsey let his trainer, Joe Opella, tape him for retirement speech after trainer missed last game due to cancer treatment. Aw. But yeah. The Bills cleared around $35 million of cap space. That's what happens when you pay Josh Allen the money he's making. So they must have big plans to sign somebody. Maybe Christian Wilkins. Maybe Barkley. Who knows? Something's up there. So some college football. Lane Kiffin wants in on the EICFB. He said he'd do it for free. So we have some breaking NBA injury news. Karl Anthony Towns has suffered a left meniscus injury, but remains unclear how long, if much, any time he'll require to miss. Towns and team are working to get full understanding of the degree of injury and whether it demands immediate action. So, we'll see. And LeBron's okay after exiting game as he's all right while dealing with the wear and tear with the ankle. Ben Simmons out for the season with nerve issues and lower back, of course. I mean, that's going to go down as one of the worst trades in New York sports history. James Harden, pretty much for Ben Simmons and a bunch of crap. Like, yikes. Like, Philly did better in its return for James Harden than what they gave up for James Harden. Evan Mobley may miss extended time as he has significant swelling in his ankle. Back to college football. Nick Saban on retirement decision. He said conversations about NIL contributed to the decision to walk away, which doesn't surprise me. Jack Bailey of Colorado entered the portal. He started all 12 games for the Buffaloes. He's an offensive lineman. Early National Signing Day in December moved up as they vote for a new date before transfer portal opens. Some college basketball. Indiana is keeping Mike Woodson and mid 16-13 season. Oh my God. He's not a good coach. He's not equipped for college basketball. This is like Herm Edwards with Arizona State. My goodness. I know he made the tournament one year, but come on. I thought he was going to get fired. I'm surprised he's back. Duke lands 7'2" center, come on, Malak, and he projects to be a top pick in the 2025 draft. Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, July 20th at AT&T Stadium on Netflix. Wow, that's a big deal. Aaron Boone says that Carlos Rodon says he didn't have great life on his fastball. Well, it's spring training. What do you expect? I mean, talk to me in April and the games count. Not going to matter if he pitches well this season, though. Rather that happen now than before the season. And let's just hope he's not hurt. John Heyman talks MLB expansion as he lists Nashville and Salt Lake as options to get teams. I think Nashville is very much in play. They'd be my favorite. The Nationals signed Eddie Rosario, $4 million with incentives. Not a bad signing for the Nats. And after getting destroyed on Super Tuesday, Nikki Haley has officially suspended her presidential bid after losses on Super Tuesday, clearing Donald Trump's path to the GOP nomination. So the only state that Haley pretty much won out of the Super Tuesday states was Vermont. I meant to bring this up on the Tuesday podcast, but certain circumstances came in the way, but I didn't have a chance to do it. So, yeah. I think that's obvious. We're headed for a rematch, and it's going to be very interesting. All right. Last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There was a couple that stood out to me for best bet, especially in college basketball. I am going to lay a 20th of a unit in college. There was one that really stuck out, and I'm like, okay, that's best bet. I can't think of what it was. Oh, I know what it was. Arizona State getting 8.5 at USC. USC is just overrated because of Bronny, and they failed to live up to expectations. I mean, so is Arizona State, but that number's too big. So I'm going to lay a 20th of a unit on Arizona State plus 8.5 at USC for my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow with the Big Friday show, so we're looking forward to that. Have a great day, everybody.